Good afternoon, everyone. The State Treasurer Dale Falwell. In this historic time in our state, I just want to welcome everybody to the 93rd Ask Me Anything call with the State Treasurer's Office. Before we get into your questions, as many of you know, we had a Council of State meeting this morning, and before that, we had senior staff meeting at the Treasurer's Office where we're talking about whether it's the pension system, unclaimed property, state health plan, prescription drug benefits, processing claims, local government commission needs in these 23 counties. We're talking about things that we need to do differently to meet the needs of our customers who have been so unimaginably impacted by the storms that hit us last week. So just to summarize that, we are going to stay in the check delivery business. We're going to continue serving our customers. We're going to work with the United States Post Office and do whatever it takes and anything we can to keep this going in the right direction. It's no secret to the people on this call that some of the largest checks, even before this storm, this is true yesterday and today and tomorrow, some of the largest checks that go into these counties come from the Treasurer's Office every month, either through pension, local, state pension, others, healthcare and prescription drug benefits, as well as nccash.com. So with that, you had a media advisory to talk about misleading information about GLP-1s. And I'll answer any question you might have on any other topic. And please raise your hand if you want to speak. Hey, Luciana, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, you mentioned, information about GLP-1. So there's been that kind of debate, that letter that Speaker Moore sent and that you replied to. I guess, do you have anything further to comment on just that situation and, what he said was the cause of GLP-1 issues?
I've been a servant in Raleigh, public servant for nearly 20 years. I've known Speaker Moore for most of that period of time. One of my biggest disappointments is the fact that on behalf of those that teach, protect, and serve, and taxpayers like them, I don't have the equipment or know what triggers Speaker Moore to get involved or engaged in any particular topic, and to focus on these concerns that we have with the state health plan. We have, as you know, and others know, we have taken the lead on many topics regarding healthcare over the last 7 years. And there's a lot of talk about fingerprints these days. It's my observation that the fingerprint that has stopped the progress that we have needed to take in the state health plan in order to make it solvent and affordable for our state employees is his. So this latest letter, he does things only for his reasons and no one else's. This latest letter, my further disappointment about this letter is that a United States senator depended on this letter, which contained a lot of inaccuracies and a lot of confusing data. The clearest thing I want to say to you is that, for example, Medicare Advantage, we had negotiated that product at zero premium to our members and zero cost to the taxpayers. Zero and zero. It's something that happened in the Congress of the United States that triggered a provision that allowed the Medicare Advantage premiums to go up. And so it was kind of interesting that this letter got sent to people who may have even voted for that. So it's just a combination of a lot of things. I have a few months left in office, but these GLP-1s are serious business. And the reason that I have become involved in this the criticism I've received for talking to people like Senator Bernie Sanders, I will say this, that any elected official at any level who refuses to talk to anyone else about how to actually solve a problem should resign. We have a drug tax in this state, in this country. I'm a conservative. We're against higher taxes. What I mean by a drug tax, Luciana, is that the people in this country pay 10, 11, 12 times more for this weight loss drug than people in other countries. I call that a drug tax. And so I'm willing to talk to anybody or work with anyone who's actually serious about how to actually solve the problem of higher drug cost, and the GLP-1s is just the latest. Follow up?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Hello.
Robert?
Hello, this is Robert Slavin, reporter at the Bond Buyer. I was hoping you could talk a little bit about the financial impact of Helene on state government.
Robert, thank you for your interest. Let me just start answering your question from a humanitarian standpoint. There's so much that people who don't live in North Carolina can do to help those that are impacted and are going to be impacted for a very long period of time. It's very coincidental that one of the biggest outreach groups in the world is Samaritan's Purse, which has command centers in Wilkesboro and in Boone, North Carolina, and all parts of that part of our state. That's about the only positive thing I can think about right now in terms of the devastation that's happened. The other thing that people on this call can do is to understand that unknown should not be unloved. There's a lot of people in Western North Carolina that you do not know, but they could use your help. And one thing that you could do to help is donate blood. We don't know what the blood needs are going to be, but we do know that we get a lot of blood donations out of Western North Carolina, and those blood centers are going to be closed, in my opinion, for a very long period of time. That's the humanitarian side, Robert. On the financial side, the NC lapel pin that I'm wearing today stands for Nothing Compares. I wouldn't trade places with any other state treasurer as we face the financial uncertainty of this topic of your question. We, as you may know, Robert, have retired 60% of the state debt over the last 8 years, multi-billion dollar surpluses. We have money in the rainy day fund, and it really rained. So I will say that the financial impact is going to be the likes of that we've never seen in the state of North Carolina. But I think that we're financially in a good shape to no pun intended, to weather that storm. Follow up?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Go donate blood. Ray? Can't hear you, buddy. Still can't hear you. See your mouth moving.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Treasurer. I'm looking at the Cabarrus County items and the non-recommendation of those. And I have a couple questions, starting whether you've been in communication with folks in Cabarrus County like Chris Meismer and Larry Pittman.
Well, I did not know Chris. He was at our local government commission meeting the other day. Larry Pittman is somebody that I serve with in the General Assembly. And I think if you'll tune in to our local government commission meeting today, you'll actually hear staff talk about the deficiencies in these applications. Chris, can't hear you. I mean, Ray, can't hear you.
He's got it.
Yeah.
There we go. Follow up on that. Looking at the applications and also the past action on limited obligation bonds, it looks like the city of Asheville has got basically the same thing coming through on limited obligation bonds that
Yeah.
that you all held up with Cabarrus County, and I'm wondering if there's going to be equivalent treatment there, or whether Cabarrus County is somehow a special case.
Ray, let's be clear about a very nuanced part of this. We are not opposed to limited obligation bonds. The program that they had in place for a number of years was a draw program. It's a completely different type of instrument. Generally speaking, I'm in favor of general obligation bonds that are approved by the voters. And I think you may know this, Ray, that the Local Government Commission and the voters of Cabarrus County several years ago approved a general obligation bond, and the county never issued the bonds at all. So I hope that you'll have an opportunity to tune in to and hear from staff today about this application, both on the ACM building and others. I will also say that I have a great track record of trying to actually solve problems and meet the needs of the community, especially as it relates to school funding. But that has not and never will prevent me from asking the tough questions regarding fiscal responsibility and accountability. And I'll also add that I can't think of any situation where our staff has devoted more time to more hours, to more meetings by more of our staff since I've been the treasurer than we have trying to really understand the Cabarrus County situation and the applications that's been sent to us. And Ray, I think if you look at the totality of all this, I think in a very short period of time, when you look at the draw program, the ACM building, and the other applications that's before us, nearly $500 million worth of borrowing jumped up on the table in a very, very short period of time. I'll also remind you, Ray, that on the draw program, when I asked for a motion as the chairman of the board to approve Cabarrus County, who had swung for the fences on and taking risk as far as interest rate and construction cost, when I asked for a motion to approve them being able to exit out of that draw program, I did not even receive a motion, much less a second to that motion. That's how confusing it was. Those are the facts.
Okay.
Follow up?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Any other questions? Luciana, Ray, or anyone else is on the call, if you have any follow-up questions, just reach out to Frank and Dan and be glad to set up an appointment. I presume, Ray, you have the link to today's meeting? Okay. I hope that you'll take opportunity to settle in and focus on what the staff's going to be preparing. The packet that we sent out to members was several hundred pages. So I appreciate the attention to the facts and the detail that's going to come out of that meeting. Okay. With that, I know there's a lot going on. Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with those in the western part of the state. And as I said on the council of state meeting with the governor today, when he was talking about all the groups that the state and the federal and the local level that were involved in our response, I asked him not to forget the U.S. Postal Service. If you just think about retirement papers and checks coming out of the treasurer's office and routines and things that people have been accustomed to getting through the postal service, for our state needs to also coordinate with the postal service to make sure that we understand their plan for how to get service back to those communities, in addition to all the other things going on. Lastly, our local government commission, as you know, there's several hundred entities that report to the local government commission in terms of water and sewer. We are focused on that as tightly as we can to make sure that those needs are met, that people are getting creative. Some of the swimming pools in Western North Carolina have not been drained yet, and people using the water out of the swimming pool to put into their tank on their toilet so they can continue using the bathroom. So it's that type of ingenuity and creativity that's going to be necessary, but it's going to be a very long road. So with that, I have two more of these Ask Me Anything calls left in my 10 years as the keeper of the public purse, and look forward to answering any of your questions you may have after the LGC meeting today or going forward. So thank you very much for joining us.